real difference of philosophy in here. I suppose on this side of the aisle, if in doubt, err on the side of freedom. On the other side of the aisle, perhaps, if in doubt, err on the side of more regulation. I understand the chairman's comments. I respect the chairman's comments, but again, he anticipates I guess, a challenge that so far has not been articulated before the committee. Again, as the gentlelady from Illinois has pointed out on at least 2 occasions, the CFTC already has current authority under emergency circumstances to step in and set margins. But otherwise, why do we want them in that business? And again, I hear people talking about the potential of the systemic risk, but where did we see that on the futures market? And if they manage to weather one of the worst economic storms we've seen since the Great Depression, I'm not sure that a sufficient case has been made to have the government step in, set these margin requirements that otherwise would be left in a more competitive market structure. And I continue to be fearful that at every single step, we're making the use of derivatives more costly, more cumbersome, more burdensome. And I believe I heard the chairman say earlier that he didn't think that derivatives were working. Well, maybe they didn't work in AIG's case, but my guess is a whole lot of investment firms and banks were frankly spared a fate that could have been worse because they used derivatives in a prudent, in an intelligent manner to hedge their risk. And ultimately, if we peel away the layers of the onion on the economic crisis, I mean, the underlying cause was an incredible depreciation in residential real estate. And frankly, if you had derivatives based upon residential real estate, then yes, you very well could have lost money. So what are we going to do next? I mean, should we start to ban 30-year fixed mortgages? Because we see that certainly foreclosures are up in that segment of the economy. If you had derivatives based on residential real estate, you lost. We had a once-in-a-75-year event come into this economy, and those who were not hedged properly lost. Now, we continue to debate in various forms and fashions whether or not the taxpayers should have borne the loss as opposed to the investors. That was yesterday's debate and tomorrow's debate. It may not be today's debate. But again, it wasn't derivatives that caused the problem. And I don't know how many times we can state it. I don't think anybody in this committee can point to a derivative that has any tangential relationship to the economic crisis but for the CDS at AIG, which we know the prudential regulator had the authority already to regulate and simply didn't. I don't know how you outlaw mistakes. Now, yes, it was a drastic mistake, but I think there's a confusion of cause and effect here. And again, I would say, if in doubt, err on the side of competitive markets. Don't err on the side of giving greater authority to the regulators who in many cases blew it in the first place.
The gentleman yield?
I will yield to the chairman.
Yeah,